Welcome to the Kale Houser Leadership Secrets podcast. Today we're going to talk about the destination and the discipline. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Kale Houser Leadership Secrets podcast. My name is Kale Houser. I appreciate you joining me today so much. I am the co-founder and CEO of Kale Houser Leadership, along with my amazing wife, Liz Houser, who is COO and co-founder as well. Our mission is to help small business owners, hopefully just like you, leaders in their workforce, leaders in their organization, become amazing leaders in your organization, create amazing cultures, and pretty much make an impact in your community, in your industry that is entirely different than the norm. So if the norm is just getting by, as the norm is just surviving and just kind of hoping to stay steady instead of actually growing and getting better and expanding, we don't want that. That's not what Kale Houser Leadership is all about. We want you to be successful in a way that you haven't even kind of thought or dreamt about yet. So if that is something that you're interested, please reach out to us. Make sure, if you are in the process of hiring people and going through that, make sure you visit kalehouserleadership.com. We have an amazing free download for you there with the top 10 interview questions you need to be asking to ensure that you're hiring the right people for your organization. It's totally free. Make sure you check it out and let me know what you think once you do. If you think they're just totally bogus, then let me know. But if they have changed the way you do interviews, if they've changed the quality of people that you end up ultimately hiring, please let me know. I would love to hear that feedback. All right, today we are talking about the destination and the discipline. In thinking about this, right, we're going on this journey. We are in, of course, this journey of life, but more specifically in what we deal with in this podcast is this journey of business, this journey of leadership specifically in business. Now, of course, most all of these principles go outside of just a business type of relationship with people. They expand into your church, they expand into your community, into your home, all the different areas that impact or that we have influence over as far as how we are seen and viewed and followed as leaders in our household, like I said, household, community, churches, and of course, workplace. Now, a key part of being a leader is understanding there is a destination, and then there's the discipline to get to that destination. And also kind of understanding everything else in between kind of doesn't matter. All the little details that stack up that have to be done, the to-do list, the task sheets, the spreadsheets, the emails, like all of that kind of doesn't matter without these two things. And it's these two things, not that they're a bracket, but they're the two essential ingredients that you need to be a leader, a successful leader. You need to have a destination and you need to have the discipline to get there. Now, there's a famous Bruce Lee quote that I was recently reminded of, and I'd heard it before, and you kind of, like, okay, that's a cool quote, it's something to think about and understand. But of course, now as we go through our different seasons of life and we have different perspectives and different priorities, it was reintroduced to me, or I came across it again, and it kind of had it hit harder this time. It hit a little bit more personal and like understanding. So I'll read it to you here. So Bruce Lee, he says, "Don't fear the man who practices 10,000 kicks one time. Fear the man who practices one kick 10,000 times." Okay, so I'm going to read that again. Don't fear the man who practices 10,000 kicks one time. Fear the man who practices one kick 10,000 times. And the point, at least my interpretation of the point that he's trying to make, is this is the destination and the discipline to get there. This is the understanding of my only goal. My sole goal is this. And how do I get there? Well, I need to practice 10,000 times in order to gain that skill set, right? There's also the other famous, I forget the author, but they're talking about, I think it's like 10,000 hours, right? To become good. Like you look at all the major league soccer players and the professional soccer players, like they put a minimum of 10,000 hours into their discipline to be amazing. And this is kind of along that same principle. Now you can, be really good at, take any sport that has positions. Like you can be a really good forward in basketball or a really good quarterback, but you don't see quarterback spreading around and they're really good at every position. Now, certainly in younger, right, high school, just to lack of availability of players and talent and things like that, you have people that play multiple positions. But it's why in college, and it's why definitely in the pros, that they play one position. They play right guard. That's it. Because they're doing the one thing 10,000 times, because they need that expertise. They need that, no kidding, they are the best of the best at that position. And this needs to be the same with you. Now, I am not at all encouraging you or advising you to only focus on one thing, because that's not what business is. Business is not one thing. We have a lot of moving parts, but you do need to be focused on the one thing, in the sense of what drives your business. What is the most critical thing in your business that needs the most attention, that you need to be dedicating 90% of your 10,000 kicks to? What is that for you? Is it building culture? Is it finding amazing people? Is it growing those amazing people? Is it product development? Is it marketing? Like, what is that thing in your business that drives you? What are your goals? What are your targets that you have set up? And that's what we're talking about with the destination. Because without the destination, you've got nothing, at least nothing lasting. Like, you may attract people like, cool, you just had this startup, but you have no groundwork for a future success. You have no long-term plans other than making, some money on the front end. What is the destination? Because that's what drives people. That's what pulls people to your cause, pulls people to your business and your organization, is they see a destination. They see that you have a destination, and they want to be a part of getting you there. They want to be a part of being there. Now, the other part of this is, of course, it's easy. There are thousands upon millions of people that have destinations in mind. They have goals, they have targets, they have dreams. And they sit on their couch in between episodes on their favorite streaming platform and go, oh, that would really be cool to go to, the Amalfi Coast in Italy. They just watched, House Hunters International or something, some travel show. And they're like, wow, that's so beautiful. Someday I'll get to that country and get to experience that. And they have that destination in mind. But what are they lacking? What are you lacking? When you say you want to be the number one HVAC shop in your county, like, cool, that's a great destination to have. That's a great target to have. What does that mean? What do you need to do? What disciplines do you need to instill, both in yourself as the owner, as the leader, and in your team, in order to reach that goal? Now, we're not going to go into much to goals and the reason to have them, or how to properly kind of set them up in that manner. But the discipline is what gets you there. The discipline to do this podcast every day. That is something that I accepted the challenge of at the very beginning, or last year. And at times it's been a struggle, 100%. I've got other things going on. But I wanted to have the discipline, not only for you as my audience, to make sure that this information was available to you and you could have access to it at any time for free, but it was a discipline for me, right? To help me organize my thoughts, help me understand what's important to me. This has become one of the non-negotiables in my life, because I have a destination. I have a destination to be a top level, top 3 leadership coaching company in the United States. Like, you will hear the names: John Maxwell, Simon Sinek, maybe Jocko Willink, and then Kale Houser, but not necessarily in that order. Like, that's my destination. And what are the discipline things I need to do in order to get there? And this is one of them, helping the Kale Houser brand get known. But more importantly, as part of that process, is helping you, because I don't get known if I'm not helping you, if the information that I'm providing in here is not valuable. And that's really what this podcast is about, is getting information to you, because that's what a leader does. They understand the destination, and then they have the discipline to pursue it. Now, discipline, of course, is beyond just, the showing up and understanding the things. It's, of course, the tasks. It's understanding and knowing and gaining the skill sets you need that you don't have to handle the challenges, to handle the events, to handle the pathway and walking of that pathway towards your destination. And certainly because that's what discipline is. It's the dedication. It's the perseverance and commitment to your destination to do the things when it's hard, when you have challenges. And Liz and I have had challenges this year, 100%. But do we have the dedication, the perseverance, the commitment to overcome those challenges, to push through those challenges because we are committed and disciplined to our destination? Yes. And I can stand here and honestly say, yes, we have worked through our challenges. We have worked through our struggles, and we continue to do so. But the great part about that is, as you do so, as you overcome these hurdles along the way, the future hurdles are not as intimidating because you have now the skills and the discipline in yourself, in your business, in your team to handle future hurdles. You understand, yep, there's going to be some, I don't even know what they are yet, but inevitably they will happen. But now I have the faith and understanding in our team and myself and, all the people around you that support you, that we have the discipline to overcome, that we have the discipline to adapt, to change, to push through, up, around, over, underneath, whatever. So those are the two things I really wanted to talk to you about today and help you consider, right? The destination and the discipline. You need both. Just like to be successful, you need two things: the right information and the proper guidance. And I'm hoping I'm providing that for you. Feedback is always appreciated. I want to one more time read you this quote by Bruce Lee so you could really kind of mull it in your brain and see how it applies to you. Are you being the person that is practicing 10,000 kicks one time? Or are you being the person that is so focused, so disciplined, you're practicing that one kick 10,000 times? So don't fear the man who practices 10,000 kicks one time. Fear the man who practices one kick 10,000 times. Be that leader that practices 10,000 times and becomes amazing. We found this enjoyable. I'm looking forward to talking to you, speaking to you. Have a fantastic afternoon, no matter where you're at in the world. Bye.